Good morning po. Ako po si Dr. Salinas. Ano pong pangalan nila?
Marcel.
Okay, Sir Marcel. Ang gagawin po natin ngayon ay Neurological Examination. Okay lang po ba sa inyo?
Okay lang.
Bago po tayo magsimula, may papakabisa po ako sa inyo. 3 bagay. Kanin, karne, at saka gulay. Pakiulit po ako. Ano po yung 3 bagay?
Kanin, karne, gulay.
Okay, thank you. The patient is conscious and coherent. Speech is normal as to tone, volume and speed, and content without any sense of slurring. Sir Marcep, nasaan po tayo ngayon?
Bautista, Pangasinan.
Anong araw o petsa po ngayon?
Tuesday, May 19, 2020.
Okay, thank you. Sino po ako?
Dr. Salinas.
Okay, thank you. The patient is oriented to time, place, and person. Next. Ano po ito?
Ballpen.
Para saan po ito ginagamit?
Panula.
Kunin niyo po ito sa akin gamit ang inyong kanang kamay. Okay, pakihawak po ang inyong kanang balikat gamit ang inyong kaliwang kamay. Pakilapag po yung ballpen sa lamesa. Okay, the patient is able to demonstrate object recall, able to follow simple and complex commands. Ngayon po, magbibigay po ako ng sitwasyon. So, kunwari po, pumunta po kayo sa paninderya, pumili po kayo ng 10 tinapay. Tapos, may nasalubong po kayong isang tao, binigyan kayo ng 2 pang tinapay. Tapos, meron pa sumunod na nasalubong kayong tao, humingi siya ng 4 na tinapay. At sa inyong paglalakad pa uwi, may nahulog na isang tinapay. Ilan na lang po ang natitirang tinapay sa inyo?
Ito.
Okay, thank you. The patient is able to do calculation. May pinakabisa po ako sa inyo 3 bagay kanina. Bago tayo magsimula, ano po yon?
Karne, kanin, gulay.
Okay, anong araw po kahapon?
Monday.
Okay, sino po ang presidente ng Pilipinas bago si President Duterte?
Benigno Simeon Aquino.
The patient has an intact, immediate, recent, and remote memory. Next po, pwedeng pakitakip po yung isang butas ng ilong ninyo. Huminga po kayo. Okay, yung kabila rin po. Okay, thank you. Okay, ngayon po may papamoy po ako sa inyong mga bagay. Sasabihin niyo po sa akin kung ano ito. Pakipikit na lang po ang inyong mga mata. Pakitakip ang butas ng inyong ilong. Okay. Naamoy niyo po. Sa mga ito po, ano po yun?
Ito.
Okay, patakip po ulit yung mata, tapos yung kabilang butas naman ng ilong. Naamoy niyo po? Alin po dito? Okay, thank you. Olfactory nerve is intact. Patient is able to identify smell using both nostrils. Marunong po ba kayo magbasa?
Yes po.
Okay po, pakihawak po ito. Ganyan po. Okay. Pakitakip po yung isang mata ninyo. Okay, pakibasa po ito.
56.
Ito po.
947.
Ito.
8234.
Ito.
368.
Ito.
5784.
Ito.
93652.
Ito.
824563.
Ito.
2626974. 26934.
Okay, thank you. Yung kabila naman po.
947 8234 368 5764 93652 624583.
Okay, thank you. The patient's visual acuity is 20/40. Pakilagay po yung kamay ninyo sa gitna ko. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you po. There is equal papillary reaction to direct and consensual light reflex. Next po is, tingin po kayo dito. Sundan nyo po ito kung saan ko po ilalagay. Okay? Tignan nyo lang po. Okay, thank you. The cranial nerves 2, 3, and 6 are intact. Patient is able to follow the 6 cardinal gazes. Next po, ididikit ko po ito sa mukha ninyo. Sabihin niyo po sa akin kung matulis o mapurol. Ito po yung matulis. Ito po yung mapurol. Okay po? Pakipikit po yung mga mata ninyo.
Matulis. Mapurol. 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 Matulis. Matulis.
Okay. Maraming salamat. Okay, tingin lang po kayong diretso. Nga po kayo. Pakikagat ng madiin na madiin. Okay, thank you. The cranial nerve 5 is intact. Patient was able to distinguish different kinds of sensation in the facial area, able to demonstrate normal tone and force in the muscle of mastication. Okay, next po. May papatikin po ako sa inyo. Sabihin niyo po sa akin kung ano po ang mga ito. Okay, pakipikit po yung mata ninyo. Pakilabas po yung dila. Okay. Alin po dito yan? Okay. Pakipikit po ulit. Pakilabas po yung dila. Alin po dito yan? Okay. Ano po yun?
Asin.
Pakipikit po yung mata. Pakilabas ang dila. Okay. Pakibukas na po yung mata. Ano po yun?
Asukan.
Okay. Thank you. Pakigaya po ako. Simangot po. Ngiti. Kunot ng noo. No. Tapos muso. Okay. Pakipikit po maigi yung mga mata. Pikit niyo po maigi. Okay, thank you. The cranial nerve 7 is intact. Patient was able to distinguish different kinds of taste sensation in the anterior two-thirds of the tongue. Able to demonstrate normal tone and force in the muscles of facial expression. Okay, ngayon po may bubulong po ko sa inyo. Pakisabi po ng malakas.
Sana matapos na to.
Okay, isa pa po. Pakisabi po.
Tama na.
Okay. Now we're going to do Weber's test. We're going to strike the tuning fork and place it on the middle of the head. Now we're going to ask the patient, where is the sound best heard? Saan niyo po naririnig yung tunog?
Yes po.
Okay, thank you. Next is the Renee's test. We're going to place the tuning fork in the mastoid process. Then if the sound is no longer heard by the patient, he should tell me so that we're going to put the tuning fork adjacent to the ear canal. Sabihin po pag di nyo na narinig ha.
Hindi na.
Narinig po.
Hindi na. Hindi na. Hindi na.
Okay, thank you. The normal result for the Renee's test is air conduction is longer than the bone conduction. On the Weber's test, the patient should hear the sound in both ears. Okay, sir, magsalita nga po kayo.
Marami pong salamat.
Okay, thank you. The vagus nerve is intact. Speech is normal in tone and modulation. No hoarseness noted. Sir, pakisabi na po kayo.
Okay. Pakisabi pong pakilabas po yung dila.
Thank you. Cranial nerves 9 and 10 are intact. Uvula is in the midline. Palate is symmetrically rises upon saying gag reflex is normal. Okay. Pakitaas po yung balikat ninyo. Okay po. Thank you. Pakiyuko po yung ulo. Okay, thank you. Lingon po sa kaliwa. Okay, sa kanan. Okay, maraming salamat. The cranial nerve 11 is intact, no fasciculations, tremors, or atrophy noted. Patient was able to shrug his shoulders symmetrically and bow his head against resistance. Able to rotate head against resistance. Muscle tone is normal. Next is for the cranial nerve 12. Pakilabas po yung dila ninyo. Okay. Pakitulak po yung daliri ko nga dito sa pasinit nyo. Okay, thank you. Sa kabila po. Okay, thank you. Cranial nerve 12 nerve is intact. Tongue is in the midline, symmetrical when protruded. No fasciculations nor involuntary movements observed. Normal muscle tone is noted.
Cerebral.
Now for the cerebellar function. We're going to ask for the patient to stand and walk. Lakad po kayo pa ganun. Tapos balik po. Okay, thank you. Next is Tandem Gait. Maglakad po kayo. Sundan po ninyo itong linyang to. Okay, balik na po. Thank you. Next is finger to nose test. Ilabas nyo po yung tuturo ninyo. Idikit nyo po dito. Tapos, touch po ninyo yung ilong ninyo na mabilis. Okay, thank you. Sige. Okay, salamat po yung isang kamay din. Okay, thank you. Next is pronation and supination. Ganito po ninyo yung kamay ninyo. Pronation and supination. Pronation, supination. Mabilis po. Okay, thank you. Next is the heel to shin test. We're going to ask the patient to elevate one leg and place the heel of this leg to the opposite knee. We are going to ask the patient to slide down his heel on his shin. Okay, thank you. Repeat the procedure on the other leg. Okay, thank you. The patient does not have arm dysmetria, able to execute finger nose test smoothly bilaterally. No dysdiadochokinesia, able to perform rapid alternating pronation and supination. No dysmetria of lower extremities. Able to perform heel to shin test smoothly at both sides. No intentional tremors. Patient was able to perform tandem walking smoothly. Now for the motor exam. First is the abduction and adduction of the shoulder. Pakiganto po yung kamay ninyo. Sige. Bibigatan ko po, itaas nyo lang po Okay, thank you. Tapos, ganito po kayo. Ganito may Okay. Next is the flexion of the elbow joint. Ganito po kayo. Sige. Hilahin ko po. Itaas nyo lang po. Ganito nyo. Ayan. Kabila. Okay. Next is the wrist joint. Ganyan. Ayan. Tataas ko. Ayan po. Okay, thank you. Pag ganito nga po. Tapos spread. Okay, hawak nga po itong daliri ko. Ipitan niyo po maigi. Okay, yung kabila din. Okay, yung sampo ninyo, pakibitinan itong sige nga po. Okay, yung isa. Okay, thank you. Next is the flexion extension of the hip joint. Pakiganto po yung paa ninyo. Okay, ganito po. Okay, yung kabila po. Ayan. Okay, thank you. Next is the flexion and extension of the knee joint. Ganito po kayo. This is flexion, baba, extension, flexion, and extension. Okay, thank you. Okay, next is the flexion and extension of the ankle joint. This is the dorsiflexion, and this is the plantar flexion. Okay, tas mo. Okay, tas ibaba mo. Okay, thank you. Upon inspection, there is no visible fasciculations, atrophy, hypertrophy, or involuntary movements. The muscle tone is normal, no spasticity, no rigidity or hypotonicity. Muscle strength is 5/5 bilaterally. Next, we're going to do is deep tendon reflexes. First is in the biceps. Upo kayo. pain. The deep tendon reflexes are normal. Biceps, triceps, knee, and ankle reflexes are 2+. Next is we're going to test for the Babinski sign. What we're going to do is we're going to run a pointed object from the heel along the lateral aspect of the foot and towards the big toe. The normal result is grasping of the toes. The abnormal result is extension of the big toe and flexion of the other toes. Okay, my patient is positive for Babinski sign. The next is Chadak's reflex. What we're going to do is we're going to stroke just distal to the lateral malleolus. This is the lateral malleolus. We're going to stroke just distal to the lateral malleolus along the lateral side of the foot. The normal response is nothing. The abnormal response is flaring of the toes. So the toes are going to spread. The other side. Okay, so nothing. Next is Rudin-Zinke test. While in supine position, we are going to flex the head forward. And if the patient involuntarily flexes their hips and knees in an attempt to lessen traction forces, it is positive. A positive result may signify meningeal irritation or inflammation. Next is Koenig sign. While in supine position, flex the patient's hip and then slowly extend the knee. The positive result is pain in the spine and resistance or involuntary flexion of the opposite hip. May masakit? My patient didn't felt any pain, so the test is negative. Thank you.